Man, what's good, everybody, man? What's going on, D?
What up? What up? Grand Rising, yo. Grand Rising. What's up, man? I'm doing good. Monday morning. I
Oh,
didn't bet
man.
last night in the Super Bowl, so I'm not down. You know what I mean?
I'm not either, man. But if you would have betted, erase what you saw, who would you have betted on?
Oh, everyone was thinking the Chiefs were gonna win that Super Bowl, man. Everybody had probably put the house on sale, thinking that they were gonna cash in with the three-peat. Travis Kelsey gonna propose Taylor Swift during the celebration. It seemed all pretty much linear until the game actually happened.
Yeah, it's hard to beat somebody twice. It's not easy. Now, granted, a year has gone by in between, but it's hard to beat somebody twice, man. Like it takes a lot to do what they were able to do with the Eagles. Now, the first time they played them in the Super Bowl, I mean, there was guys wide open in the end zone having a picnic. I remember that
Mm-hmm.
game like y'all kept crazy people wide open. This
Yeah,
game, man, it's just the offensive line for the Chiefs just could not.
collapsed.
They collapsed, bro. Like I don't know what they was doing the night before. They probably ate too much.
All
They
them
were just getting
beignets, man. That's all the
all
beignets
them
on Main Street. You know what I
beignets.
mean? Stuff you up. You get sleep. You get the itis. Oh, we're playing a game in 30 minutes. Say what?
And if you are just tuning in, you didn't really watch the Super Bowl like that. You probably looking at the score like, what is it, 22-40? You're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. No, bro, it was bad. Like
It
they
was
put in
bad.
the second teamers in
Yeah,
the Super Bowl. If you
and
put
the
the
Super
second team
Bowl.
in, that's pretty bad, bro.
In the last 5 minutes of the game, second string was in there. Chiefs got two pity touchdowns at the end of the game. You know what I mean? It was like it's a wrap, but they just did it to make them look a little bit like, oh, we showed up a little bit for people who didn't watch. But it was like they weren't even they were asleep for the whole game. It was just like y'all know you're playing the game today, right? And it's like
Yeah, I know
what
y'all playing trying to get a three-peat, first time in
three
history.
P. Yeah.
Um, I'm glad to see a. So the first black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl was Doug Williams. My dad played against him in college when he was at Grambling.
Oh shoot.
Um, the second quarterback, I believe, is Russell Wilson. The
Mm-hmm.
third and fourth was kind of, I would say third and fourth, but the third is Pat Mahomes, and now
Pat
we have number
Mahomes,
four, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen
I
Hurts.
think, I think because of the number of black quarterbacks in the NFL, it's going to happen. It's going to pick up now. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to pick up now. Jalen Hurts is just so cool, calm, and collective, though. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He's not really like hype, loud, and super animated. He's just real smooth, like a
Yeah.
jazz player.
For real. I know there's like a big fan push for like Lamar Jackson, but on the other side of the coin, you got Jalen Hurts, who's just him. You know what I mean? Like he's cool, calm, collected. He ain't say nothing
Yeah,
crazy. He just played a game. You know what I mean?
he's so
Yeah.
calm, bro. Something like Godzilla could have rose up out of the end zone. He would have been the last one to run away, bro.
Yep.
I swear he just stood there with the football in his hand, like, I mean, is he gonna move so I can throw the ball? Like, I mean,
Right.
he's too calm for me.
Man, that'll
I
be a good
appreciate
Super
him.
Bowl commercial next year.
Yeah, man. And within the last 10 years, he's got a natty under his belt, maybe two. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tua had to come in for him on that last play of the game and throw that ball at Bama, and then he's got a Super Bowl,
Super Bowl
and he
now.
did it a different way. Like when Tua came in, he decided to leave Alabama, go to OU, play. And then he went to the league, played for the Eagles. There was a lot of uncertainty there, obviously because he's a black quarterback. He's
Yep.
not he's not prototypical. All these things that he's not Josh Allen. Josh Allen robbed Lamar Jackson, by the way, but that's another story. But people are talking about the Eagles, but you know what people are really talking about?
What are you talking about, man?
They're talking about the halftime show, bro.
Hmm. Yep. Masterclass on storytelling. How to say things in code for most people wouldn't get in terms of like the messages that Kendrick Lamar put for the performance and how I noticed a lot of the comments saying it was boring or what kind of halftime show is this, but it really was a statement on his behalf and for the culture, man.
It was. Listen, when Kendrick Lamar, number one, I'm gonna start off by saying this, man. Kendrick Lamar is a straight bully. You know
Yeah.
what they saying mustard? I'm saying bully. Like that dude is bullying Drake at this point, bro. Like this goes to show. Now, guess what? For the most part, Kendrick Lamar was great. You know, he's been at the Super Bowl before. Um, and he's performed. I thought I saw him perform at a Super Bowl. I could have sworn when I think when Beyonce or somebody else was there. My memory is
He did with 50 and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre a few years ago. And
he was there
Eminem.
at that one. I thought it was just
Yeah.
them at that one.
No,
So
no,
if I
he had one song in that joint. He was kind of quick.
because I know he played All My Life I Had to Fight, and he had
Hmm.
all that. And that was dope. Like that was crazy. But that was during a lot of more protests and social unrest
Yeah.
at his for his time. But there was a in the back of my mind, the troll in me is like, why are we sneak this in? Why are we getting subliminal messages? Just come out and say it. But then if you do that, the record label cannot because they own you to a certain extent. They probably
Hmm.
said in his contract you can't say blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So he had to use symbolism maybe to get it out.
Hmm.
But let me tell you something though. With 5 Grammys under his belt that he just received last week, bro, this guy is probably this record label, and I want to kind of tread lightly here because I know Malcolm X said, who are our leaders? It's always the musicians, the sports players. We need some real leaders that major that this is this their master in being
Hmm.
political and moving the ball forward
Yeah.
versus being entertainers. And I know a lot of people push back to that. I wonder if Kendrick Lamar can use his influence and his leverage now for good, and just in the black community. I know people say, "What do you mean he's already doing that?" But could he really step on the gas a lot harder, less symbolism, and just come out and say it? Oh, is he
Hmm.
going to get a lot of backlash and pushback? Will the community stand 10 toes with him? If if forget about the symbolism, just come out and say what he wants to say. Now, if you do that, then you draw a little bit more lines in the sand. And so, how is that going to fare in this under this administration, under this new social order that we're under currently
Yeah.
right now? What do you think?
I think he keeps a good distance away from act like you're not gonna see him in the front line of some protest wherever or anything like that. He addressed that a little bit in Mr. Morale and the Steppers, but I think there's some good to subtlety in art. I don't think everything should be direct. If he wanted to be a direct activist, sure, say the things that you want to say. But like for his art, I think his art form is top notch. I think he wants you to look up certain
Think.
things, or
He
he wants
wants
you
you
to
to think.
think. Yep, he wants you to think. He doesn't just want to say X, Y, Z, A, B, and C, and call it a day. So I did see someone on TikTok or something said that we witnessed real life Black history. We'll never witness another Black history event in our life. I'm like,
What?
yeah,
What are you talking about, man?
yeah. I'm like, let's not get too excited here. Because it's geez, that's not good.
Listen,
That's
listen.
not really good. But I know you're
I
hyped. I know everyone's hyped.
everybody's high, and it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
give Kendrick his flowers and shit. But I'm gonna be honest with you. And maybe for its time, I was old enough to remember the very very first legit because what people used to do during a halftime show is go watch TV. They would switch
Yep.
off, and then the Living Color, I believe, in Living Color, my house is just the opposite. They found out that, oh, we're gonna do a halftime show where you're gonna go to our channel for those 10 minutes or whatever, and we're gonna give you a skit. And I believe they did that. Fox did that, and it changed everything. So the Super Bowl had to bring in Michael Jackson because it's like we're losing viewership. This is before all those cool commercials. Speaking of
Yeah.
cool commercials, I didn't see not one cool commercial last night. Nothing that made me say, "Yo, y'all spent some money on this commercial." This is a very, very, very well written commercial. Like back in the day, remember those Budweiser frogs
Yeah.
and
I
What's
remember
Up and
those
all that stuff?
joints. Yeah.
Those were cool for its
Those
time.
days are done,
They're
man.
gone. Those days
They're
are gone.
gone. They will never. I think I don't know the kids, whatever the younger generation. For them, it don't matter. But for us, I think we can never say let's watch the Super Bowl for the commercials again because it'll never just live up to
Nah,
expectations. This is the new
nah.
standard, you know.
And I just don't
It'll
think
never live up to expectations.
it's not as good. But I'm old enough to remember Prince, Michael Jackson when he did the very first like legit Super Bowl performance. It was amazing. But again, for its time. And there's been other people that have came after it. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar took some flack, but but we know that type of audience that doesn't understand or get it, and it's almost as
Hmm.
if why is he even here type
Right.
attitude.
Yeah.
But it's like there's another culture out there outside of just white bread American culture that we don't listen to some of the stuff y'all listen to. That's not the standard anymore. I did notice that there was allegedly supposed to be a boycott with the black national anthem. But I also noticed that they did a lot of pregame performances,
Hmm.
uh, hours to minutes before the actual game got started. And when the game got started, they played, the national anthem, and that was it. Actually, God
Yeah.
Bless America or something they played. But
I saw some people complaining about that because they put the New Orleans jazz to it, the New Orleans style to it for the.
everything
So
is so political,
I
man. I
know
remember the days when nobody cared. Nobody
nobody
cared
cared.
about that song. Nobody cared. Nobody cared enough to get online and
Hmm.
talk as much. But now that's the go-to place. If usually, if back in the day, if you felt away, you just kind of kept it to yourself or told the people inside of your party. But now it's like, oh, um, we got a place to go to chat and to give some discourse. Like they're encouraging you to go online. But anyways, man, that's our opening thing that we got for you guys as far as the Super Bowl. That's our thoughts. It was a great Super Bowl. Shout out to Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia
Shout out
Eagles.
to the Eagles.
But I ain't gonna lie. If I'm a 23, 24-year old playing for the Eagles, I just won. They got to be back over here in Orlando, Florida at 2:30. The parade starts. So guess what? Whatever you did last night after the party, you had to get your ass up probably around 9 o'clock to go get team meeting, breakfast. Ain't no sleeping in, laid up with a bunch of women and this is that third, snorting coke. I just want to super.
Nope.
Get your butt up, come to this team meeting. Let's make sure everybody's accounted for. Hop on this plane. We gotta go down to Orlando. We gotta get. We're gonna run that, and then we're gonna catch a plane. We're gonna go eat, and we're gonna catch a plane back to Philadelphia. And then when you get back to Philly, there's probably gonna be a team meeting today or tomorrow to go over. You just don't release these guys, right?
Right.
People don't understand. It doesn't just kind of go up from here. Maybe next week, sure. Like we're gonna give you guys the week off. Take care of yourself. Don't do anything stupid. They'll give you a couple weeks off, and then probably April or May. Hey, let's get back in here. We got another
Yeah.
season, and that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people understand. Like winning is great, but it's back to business, bro. You got like a little window because they
Hmm.
want to make sure that you don't go too far, right?
Right. Right. Those days are over where you talk about like Dennis Rodman saying, "Hey, I gotta party all night till the AM, get it out of me, and then I can play in Game 7, no problem." Or when the Red Sox want to, I think, beat the Yankees or whatever big game they had, they went right into the bar, right outside the ballpark, walked into the bar and just drank drinks with the fans. Like that. Those days are done.
I
Those days are
think
done.
you. I think you last night. I think what time? I don't know. I can't remember what time the game got over with. But you got like a couple hours. But you darn sure better know that you this morning you up with a headache, hangover,
Yeah.
sleeping on the plane to Orlando, and you're gonna sleep all the way back to Philadelphia. Yeah, it's gonna be. You're not gonna hang out tonight like that. I mean, well, you hang out tonight, but you're gonna try to sleep as much as you can all day today. I know I would.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
those guys are like, if social media was around and Facebook was around when Dennis Rodman and all those guys were, any athlete from all this previous eras are
oh, it'd
going
be
out doing their
crazy.
thing,
Yeah, it'd
it'd
be
be
crazy.
crazy, crazy,
Yeah, it'd be
nasty work
wild,
out
man.
there.
Nasty work. But here's some good news, man. Speaking of this week, we got Captain. I know we've been talking about Cap Fever, Cap Mania, I should say.
Cat
So we're
Mania.
gonna we're gonna go see Captain America. Me and Paul, CEO Paul. We're gonna go see Captain America up here in Altamont Springs on Thursday at 5:30. Is the time. I know we're doing it at the worst possible time people get off work. But you might have to leave work early or take a day off. Go pick you up a Captain America t-shirt. Pretend like you're a Captain America fan for all you haters out there. But for the rest of us, we're gonna do a quick huddle meet and greet at the Altamont AMC 18 up in Altamont Springs at 4:45. I would say be here for pregame. We'll grab a beer, grab some food. We're gonna walk into the theater and we're gonna sit down and try to enjoy ourselves. I'm thinking they're gonna be all right because one of the theaters up here was full. Like we had to go, we had to like the 6:30 show was full, so like we had to go to the 5:30 show, and they say they might hit 250 the first week globally. So I mean, look,
Okay.
they don't have to. They only have to make like 4.5, and they're good.
Right.
They're just gonna have to. It's basically gonna be Black Panther. I don't want to call it Black Panther Light, but Sam's gonna have on an entire vibranium suit, and it was a scene where the Hulk was just punching him, but his wings were protecting him. He was bolted to the ground, and Hulk couldn't do anything. So it's gonna be Black Panther-ish. People are gonna, and the Wakanda guys, the Black Panther guys are gonna come out and say, see, he needed Wakanda tech. He need to recast him, man. What's up with all this? They're gonna bring that in.
Yeah. Who gave T'Challa? Who gave Falcon his wings? Who gave him the suit?
See,
yeah, all
and
that.
granted, he gave him the wings in the comic book. But
in the comic books, but this is MCU, man.
But I'm gonna tell you something else. Don't let Falcon get too hot. Don't let him shoot too many threes in this film. It's gonna be like, hold up now. You ain't the king of black superheroes. You better chill out. The fans some of your haters gonna come from it, boy. If it's a really good movie and he's smiling and smirking and flexing a little too hard, it's gonna be problematic.
Yep, Mr. DC Comics, I see you. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, dude.
It's gonna be wild. What's up? Man, already on it. And they should. At this point, I have no faith. I have no faith in if Sam does very well at this theater. Like exceptionally well, they might not even care anymore. They might just say we're gonna focus on him. He could be the token leader. It was just weird, right? But they'll utilize him as a token leader, and they might call it a day. They are gonna come out with Black Panther 3. I think if they come out with Black Panther 3, because that's already been slated, but they ain't talking about no recast, that movie's gonna tank. They'll give you Wakanda Forever, and people are going to go out and see for a funeral. But by Black Panther 3, if you don't have like T'Challa or some type, you don't have something, a male. Unfortunately, if you do not, even if you have a male, that's not going to suffice. That movie's going to tank. I don't care if you load it up with a bunch of cool villains. That movie's going to tank. Speaking of tanking, what's your thoughts on Thunderbolts?
The Thunderbolts trailer, I thought it was decent. I think, man, I don't like the color palette. It looks like it was filmed very Xbox 360 brown, earthy tones, man, and like But overall, man, it's their Suicide Squad for the most part. They're a little bit late, but I like the second Black Widow and the Red Guardian and Bucky and them. Some of the characters I dig. So it could have been a lot worse. I thought it was a pretty decent trailer for what they're gonna do.
Bucky looks a little OP in this, man.
He's the Captain America of the team. He's the most strongest one. So he gotta flex. He's gotta flex as like the grizzled veteran leader.
I don't know if he's the strongest one. I mean, U.S. agent should be just as strong as him.
Nah, that's true.
With that arm, it makes him a little bit more stronger. But this dude was flipping over cars with. Yep. I don't know, the physics between Bucky and Misty Knight, the physics for me doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. If your arm is strong, but the rest of your body ain't nothing but a bunch of meat, you got to take it and you got to compensate for the impact that arm punching a wall or stopping a truck is going to have on the rest of the body. It should crack ribs, bones, and even shatter.
But his arm is vibranium now.
Still, I mean, if it's canceling out the vibration, his arm makes a little bit more sense, but as far as weight, like as far as him being able to lift stuff, outside of his weight class, no, absolutely not.
Right, because then his arm. Oh, go ahead. No, you good, man.
the vibranium arm
Hmm.
is strong, but it has to be it has to have a base, and if
Right.
the base is his shoulder, I mean his shoulder can only hold so much weight. But we'll see. I mean, it's movies. It's the suspension of belief. If I can
Right.
believe that Valkyrie can not die with the Red Hulk, I'll give Bucky the suit.
Yeah. I see Mr. DC Comics says MCU will probably reboot with Secret Wars, maybe a recast of Black Panther. Them. That's probably somewhere around there. Too many normal people passing as superheroes and Thunderbolts. Well, that's sort of the plot. Like they're the underdogs, and how are we gonna stop Sentry? Sentry is Superman. How are we gonna defeat this Superman type character when none of us? All we do is punch people and shoot guns. So, um, yeah, I mean, it should be interesting how they stop Sentry.
Let's to be fair, it looks like the Void, who is the inner most dark part of the Century,
Oh, the
is
Void,
going to
right?
play a role.
Mm-hmm.
The Ghost, who is black in real life, not in the comics, but it's black. The actress is a black woman. She plays Ghost, where she can become entanglement. They're not going to allow her to use. She's not going to be the hero. They're not going to allow her to use her abilities to the fullest extent for her to duck and dodge the Century. The Red Guardian, I believe he's stronger than Steve. I think he's like class 10, like he's like Spider-Man level strength, I believe.
Oh shit, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yeah, he's like
Hmm.
Spider-Man level strength, but I mean that's it. I mean, I don't think he's this regular Steve Rogers. He's minimum Steve Rogers because he went through a similar Secret Soldier program. I actually had his comic book. I sold it.
Hmm.
I don't even know why I sold that, but um, he is Russia's answer to Steve, but I think his powers are a little bit out of there. You have the Taskmaster. She can duplicate people's
Yeah, Jobber.
fighting style. U.S. Agent is basically Bucky with a shield. His shield looks horrible, by the way. It was like bent up or something.
Yeah.
Who else you got on the Thunderbolts? You have White Widow. I believe, like Natasha, she has a bit of conditioning to where she can she's a little bit amped. Trying to think
Right,
who
from
else
the
is in.
Black Widow
Yeah,
program, whatever that is.
yeah. I mean, the comics, Black Widow does have a form of the super soldier formula. It's not as perfected. It's not even Isaiah Bradley level. It's like one of those
Right.
weird concoctions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe somebody shows up to kind of assist, but the Century beat the Blue Marvel. So a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but and we won't today because we know how people get. But if he's that OP, it's gonna be a problem. But they actually might kill him in this film because what do? You just kind of just let him go? Um, what role do you think Animatium is gonna play, other than everybody wants it?
I mean, obviously it's a nod to Wolverine and the X Men with adamantium. I don't know where because Hugh Jackman Wolverine is sort of, I guess, now new canon of MCU Wolverine. I'm not sure it's really going to play a big part rather than just the plot of just, hey, there's a new resource, just like Vibranium, Wakanda Forever. We got to grab this now. I don't think it's going to play too much of a big plot point for future installments, to be
You
honest with you.
unless you're gonna use the Animatium to create villains, maybe because I know that the U.S.
Maybe
wants
Doctor
it.
Doom armor? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. And my last question is Logan, the Wolverine that we saw in Deadpool Wolverine, did he make it over to the 616? Is he here now?
I
Nobody, I
get
don't know.
Nobody knows. When Secret Wars comes out, I bet he'll make a cameo with Deadpool. I guarantee it.
I mean, if he's not in there, I mean, he doesn't play a pivotal role as much as like T'Challa or anybody in the Secret Wars, but it's gonna be interesting.
I
Oh my
mean, they're
god,
gonna
it's gonna
throw
be
everybody
interesting.
in there. They're gonna throw anyone they can get their hands into a cameo or whatever. One action sequence, they're gonna throw everybody in there that they can. Make sure that movie hit 2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Black Panther's sidekick, quote unquote, because he doesn't really have a sidekick. Bronze Tiger, our Golden Tiger. I think her name's Golden Tiger. She
Hmm.
makes her official for first full appearance debut this Wednesday with the Champions #2. Make sure you go pick that up. You never know. Now I know this isn't. comic books, how should I say this? The speculation
The
or the
spec game
road,
is effed
the
up.
spec game is cooked 100%, but just still get it. You know what I'm saying? It is. She's wearing a derivative of the Bronze Tigers outfit. Like that is my number one book of the week. I'm gonna go pick that up. And we need more. We don't necessarily need more black superheroes. We have tons of them, but we need more black fans to get behind certain characters. And maybe this character, if this character does more with T'Challa, I think maybe some of T'Challa's juice can rub off on her, so that she becomes popular too.
Maybe, yeah.
Um, we just need because when you deal with black characters and black communities, you in the Marvel comics you really only have the four that people really want to go spend their money and really fool with and talk about. And it's unfortunate that we kind of draw a circle around T'Challa, Stormblade, and Miles. And they, granted, they have the most development, but we don't even when they attempt to do things with other characters, we don't come out. We don't come out and celebrate. We don't come out and do anything. As a matter of fact, if you have too many black characters in the comic book, people get mad, right? Remember,
Yeah,
Isaiah can't even have a birthday party because the biggest eyesore for people is T'Challa's not there, or
you're right.
well, why these characters have to have a reason to be together? They just can't hang out, like dumb stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know, man. What's your thoughts on? We didn't ever talk. I know that Jane, that was the most hated book for some weird reason in January. What's your like final word, final thought on that?
On the book itself for
The book
Sam Wilson
itself,
number one.
Sam Wilson number one, and some of the backlash that came with that. And when I say backlash on both sides, black folks had some skin in the game. They was mad for a lot of the similar reasons why white folks is upset. What is your overall like response to everything that you were feeling and hearing, and even reading the book?
My response is that it worked. You know, when it comes to comics, wrestling, it's almost like the same thing. You need gimmicks to sell your book. You need something to get people to talk about it, get some traction going for it. We know the Sam Wilson books have been pretty quiet. They put the barbecue scene in there. It got shared like crazy. It worked. It got attention for the comic. Did it get the appropriate sales? Maybe not. I don't know.
I
But
don't think.
it did bring attention to the issue. It did bring attention to the comic itself. So I mean, in this day and age, anything you can do to garner attention or to say, "Hey, pick my book up over everyone else's book," I mean, that's what you got to do. I was disappointed with the fact that in the story, there's some kind of Avengers level threat that's happening, and they're like, they told Sam, "Nah, do deal with the farm. We got the Avengers type threat." It's kind of like I didn't like that. They kind of sunned them right there. It's like, would you tell Steve, yo, deal with the veterans, deal with the veterans protesting against Congress, whatever. We're gonna deal with this Thanos event to the side here that everyone's gonna bring their attention to. You go handle the small change stuff. Like I wasn't digging that. But other than that, I thought the issue was fine.
it's
They
just
sunned them a little bit. They sunned them
they really made more of a deal.
more of a deal.
I'm gonna actually today post on YouTube and post in our Facebook group. Sam Wilson had a birthday party a couple of months ago. I think, I'm sorry, the Symbol of Truth, and nobody's made any stink about it. It was a bunch of black people. The thing about that made it different. There was no black superheroes. This is his family, and Misty Knight was there. But
Hmm.
nobody's cried and said, "Oh, well, how come this character's not here? How come that character's not here?" One thing I want to say about this, and we're gonna close the Captain America number one. I believe his Captain America number two is coming out this week. And Josiah Bradley is going to be in it, which is Isaiah's son. Got new outfit, new costume. I'm definitely might go and check that out. I did buy the first one. Chad Sanders is a writer that is on, and you've sent me some Chad Sanders stuff. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Chat Sanders.
Yeah, Chad Sanders
Oh
on
yeah, yeah,
Instagram.
yeah.
Chad, he
Hmm.
goes by Chad Sands. You or maybe I sent you a post where he said, you know, I just left a meeting with some producers or executives, and I submitted them something, and they said basically we'll see that we can't make no promises. And he was kind of based, I'm paraphrasing, basically saying, I want people to listen to this. I want people to listen to this good. And I know I'm not necessarily going dark, but this is a time where I want to really, really keep it real. He said, I'm coming to y'all telling y'all basically that I presented something to them that they really, really wanted, but they don't have faith in our audience. And he said the reason why I'm even able to make this video without them even getting mad and exposing who they are is because they know we'll like, they know we'll share, they know we'll
Mm-hmm.
go all over. If they know everything a lot of things that we put out about our productions, it's going to go viral. But ultimately, they know we're not going to buy anything. And I think that's the biggest, realest thing I've heard in a while because unfortunately, with the Sam Wilson system, what does this have to do with Sam? With that scene at the cookout, which wasn't a cookout, it was just a birthday party. The biggest, I guess it was cookout because Luke Cage was flipping those burgers. But the biggest thing about this, that what if we actually bought that comic book at the same rate as which it went viral, right?
Whew.
We didn't do
Oh
that.
boy. Nah.
Even a
Mm-hmm.
half, we did. A lot of people liked it and shared it. It had so much to say, but they weren't necessarily invested in as far as, oh, let me go to the local comic book shop so I can own it. And it's sad that those white folks told Chad that, but to a certain extent, they right. You know how many things that people like to share? Like, okay, for example, the Luke Cage, Black Panther, Brother Voodoo, and Blade scene, where somebody took out the words and they said, "I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to be like you." You know that one that always goes viral. You
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
that
I see
picture, right?
that. Mm-hmm.
Now, guess what? That's in a Black Panther book. A lot of people don't even. I believe it's Black Panther 35 or 18 like that. I own it, right? Now, there's more people sharing that picture that's going to actually go and pick up that. That book has all been out over 20 years, but go buy
Yeah.
the book. Go own the book. See, partially, a lot of it is it's easier and it's more self-absorbing for me to just make a post and talk about it versus to actually go and spend money and support it. And that's where we have a biggest disconnect in our community where we got to get better. We really got to get better at that because a lot of executives are like, so what? That scene went viral. Is it going to does that mean, is it going to translate into dollars? Does this mean this community is transactional? Or are they just waiting to just be famous or they just want something to go viral?
Yeah.
And those are just some hard truths. We gotta work those out. And we can't just kind of just say, oh well. We gotta go and buy these things that we like. And a lot of
Yeah, I think
times
we
we
got to grow
don't.
the fandom. We got to grow the fandom. I think we're at like, there's max caps in markets or in stocks. Companies reach a max cap. Netflix reached a max cap of how many people subscribe to them. I think the fandom is like at a max cap right now. I think we need expansion. We need people. If you got extra copies of something, give it to somebody. Introduce them to a character. Say, here, let's get people in the door. I think sometimes we're in these bubbles and we're so knowledgeable, we're so passionate, and we kind of have that obsessive possession control over this thing that we love. And
Mm,
sometimes we push away people who would like to come in and see, well, what are you guys so passionate about? And I think we hold on to it sometimes a little too tight. And I think we got to get people in. We got to get more people, more of us into. We need more of a black fandom. So we got to get more people into in comics in general.
yeah.
More of us into
Transactional people.
comics.
We gotta
Transactional.
get with
Yeah.
transactional people. I don't need nobody else just to come around here and say and just talk about only just a recast, only just this character. I want you to go ahead and buy the comics because that is telling investors that there's a demand. Just wanting a movie isn't enough. There has to be a demand on all fronts. When they come out with action figures, they don't need to wind up at Alex. I know everybody doesn't collect action figures. I'm not saying
Yeah.
forcing people to all of a sudden one day wake up and be like, I'm an action figure fanatic. But all these things add up. That's why Superman and Batman, they have one of the most recognizable logos and symbol because they have transactional fans. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't just and people think, oh, it's just white. No, it ain't just skin color. People spending money. They're dropping cheese. But Mr.
Yep.
DC been waiting patiently. He's got some. We're gonna get out of here in a minute. He says, do Winter Soldier has a regeneration like Wolverine? No, not like Wolverine. He has it like Steve, which is a little bit better than me and you. Basically, it's just
Yeah.
a little bit better. Like his body is at the pinnacle of human perfection. So if I get a cut on my arm, it's gonna probably take about 3 to 4 weeks for you not even see it again. Actually, probably even longer. I think for you not to even see it. Where Steve, I mean, it's expedited. Like his body immediately sends antibodies. It starts healing. Probably within probably within a week. He could probably take even regular poisons and toxins. His body just gets it out of his system because his body's at the pinnacle of human perfection. He's maxed out, which I think he honestly should perform even a lot better. But I know he's getting older, so his power, his well, I'll
Well,
call it
his body
his power.
slows down. Yeah.
His body is slowing down his aging, so it's working overtime to keep this 80, 90-year-old man going and being as rigorous as he is. He also asks, who are the best black writers in Marvel?
And Marvel, I'll just say straight up, I think right now, I mean, I'd say Ronnie Barnes for the most bang for your buck in general, number one right now. If we're going there,
Who
Ronnie
do you think?
Barnes.
Ronnie Barnes, hands down, is the best writer. Um, in Marvel though, but he's mostly an image. He's got his own line and image. Because Mr. DC was talking about recast Black Panther, the last time somebody wrote a damn good Black Panther book and the writing was phenomenal, I think Reginald Huntley. I think Reginald Huntley is out of the comic game as far as writing as much. But bro, if he ever got asked, a lot of times they don't. If he ever got asked to come back and write Black Panther, it's gonna be crazy. Like he's a
Hmm.
great writer. The way he did his run was good. I'm not a big Priest guy. He took a lot of liberties that I wasn't a fan of. I don't think a lot of people are a fan of, but I think people were so happy with the bulletproof T'Challa and
Hmm.
the Iron Man ish T'Challa that they didn't care. They let him. He could do a lot of crazy stuff in that. He did a lot of crazy stuff in that run, especially towards the end.
Yeah,
Um,
I got to be honest with you, man. I would be a lot more interested. No disrespect to Reggie Hudlin and what he did for Black Panther. I'd be more interested in Jeffrey Thorne to get a run on Black Panther. I'd be more
he's
interested
in
with
X
that.
Force right now.
Yeah,
He's a good writer too. I mean, I'm not. I mean,
yeah.
he's a good writer too. I don't think the it's the John Stewart situation is
Mm.
weird. I know that's what he primarily had to focus. I think primarily even
Hmm.
last year, but I'm sorry, year before last. But it's just like they've maxed out John Stewart's too fast.
Mm.
To where it's like you're gonna really have to do something. You got to work a lot harder to write John Stewart. But he did a pretty good job. What's the guy that wrote? We gonna have him on the show. Not right. He's a light skinned guy, kind of heavy set. He wrote Luke Cage. He's on Bitterroot. You know what I'm talking about?
Um,
Light skinned
not
guy.
Brown, Chuck Brown,
No,
right?
that's Chuck Brown. He's a writer.
Damn,
He's a.
I'm bad with my names, man.
Let me go. Let me go in here, and I'm gonna tell you who he is. He's pretty good. Bitter
Mm.
root writer. Let's see. And I don't even think.
Is
Oh,
it
David F. Walker. David
Walker?
Walker
Walker, David F. Walker.
is good. He's more so situational. Like he did Nighthawk, great job. Luke Cage, great job. He does great work. I think you need to get him on the right project though. Just to throw anything at him, he has to work harder. It's not as easy. But other than that, man, if you want to come out and see me and Paul this Thursday, 5:30, for 4:45, get your tickets now because if it books up, you come out there with us, but you're gonna be watching your
You
movie at
watching
another
it?
time. So
Man,
this is
y'all gonna be right near the Ultimate Mall, right? That one, that
uh,
AMC there.
right there, Altamont Mall. Which, if you're like, well, where's the? If you're probably, obviously you're not local to Florida, or if you're in Florida but you're not, that's basically Orlando.
Yeah,
Basically, we're in Central Florida, since in the middle of the state.
yeah.
We're going this Thursday. Get your tickets.
Man, I would have
Other
been
than
right
that,
there with you guys, man. I would have been right there, dude.
oh yeah, absolutely, you've
Yeah.
been right there, man. And I hate that you're not here. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys back on Friday, same time. This is I think we've kind of found. Hopefully, we can say that we found our happy normal on Mondays and Fridays. So we'll check you guys later.
All right, peace, y'all. Have a great day.
Peace.
Peace.